have we completed the fasal? Or have we completed this fasal, yeah? Are we starting with this fasal or are we completed it? Faslun fima la yanqudhu al-wudu. Do we start there or do we start at faslun fi nawaqidh al-wudu?
Assalamu alaikum, Mulana. Mulana, I think firstly we need the lessons that you did last week. I mean that you recorded and did. We did it with a different book. And firstly, we're not sure why we did it with the book, with that book. Whether we're not doing this book or we're supposed to do this book.
You did it from Fiqh al-Muyassar instead of from
Nurul Ida.
From Nurul Ida. But
so that's why we're not sure what we're supposed to do now.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
no problem. Okay.
Caught up now. But I think in that book,
the reason why we done
we finished the whole of wudu and gusal, and we were supposed to start tayammum today.
Oh, okay. No, it was actually a mistake on my part. I was telling Maulima, I recorded those sessions from Maulima Shakira's computer because we were having so many problems before that. So I recorded it directly from her computer. And her computer, she only had that kitab. And I thought that, you know what, we're going to be at this the content will be similar because the content is similar and then to have a difference. But I think I was on the wrong page, completely wrong.
No, the pages were not wrong, Maulana, but in Nurul Ida, we got a lot of other things.
So the pages, right? Okay, so to the page, okay. Yeah, so there was some mistake, but the whole fault was on my side because I actually used, I recorded directly from, because this is the second time we recorded something. The last time we recorded something, we lost the recording. So this time we decided to record it directly on the Abbad Academy laptop, but inshallah that should be no. So just to clarify, we are doing Nurul Ida. To clarify, we are doing Nurul Ida.
Maulana, the only difference is that Nurul Ida had a few more examples, a little bit more information, because I took down notes and I was comparing the two kitabs. With Nurul Ida, there's a few more information that we just need to go over. But basically, everything else was very
some
similar.
chapters were left out. From Nurul Ida.
No, so
everything which you have, which you read, which you taught us, and some chapters.
Okay, inshallah, no problem. Inshallah, but. In any case, we're going to do those recordings, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's going to be moving forward, inshallah. Like I've been mentioning last week, I don't know what's happening, but inshallah, we're getting some momentum going forward. There was a question about qahqaha. Was it sent from this class? Was it in this lesson? So is this the qahqaha that I'm looking at in the lesson? All right. Now, okay, so that's what I'm asking. Did we complete this lesson? Have we completed Faslun fi Nawaqidh al-Wudu?
Okay, so Maulana, it was done. It was done from Maulana. You did it from the Fiqh al-Muyassar. And
let me just understand correctly. So alhamdulillah, the sessions that were done with Fiqh al-Muyassar was the correct place and the correct content. The only thing was in the correct kitab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then alhamdulillah. Okay, I thought alhamdulillah. Okay.
With our kitab, the last we're supposed to start at Faslul Ayyun Nawaqidh al-Wudu in Nurul Ida.
Okay, no problem. Alhamdulillah.
There's just a few extra points
left out, Maulana. A few sections are left out by you.
So we'll go through the points from. We're starting from Nurul Ida because alhamdulillah, a revision we would have done revision anyway, but it's just a relief because I thought that we were on the wrong place. So alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, it wasn't such an issue that we had there. So. So I'm not going to explain the qahqaha. We'll start again from Faslun fi Nawaqidh al-Wudu, inshallah, and then we come to the qahqaha. We'll explain that. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. فصل في نواقض الوضوء, the chapter regarding those things which nullify the wudu. Now, the overall, and this was highlighted in the videos, is that nullifies with خروج شيء من أحد السبيلين. خروج شيء من أحد السبيلين. Now that definition remains constant, and that is why it is not only it's not only going to be what do you say actual matter that has to come out. There can also be gases that come out, and so liquid, it can also be live. With certain illnesses, they are in the books of fiqh, I don't know medically, but in the books of fiqh, they speak about worms coming out of the private parts. So khuruju shay'in min as-sabilain will be the main focus of concern, because though that would effect the breakage or the nullification of wudu. So ينقض الوضوء 12 شيئا. Wudu is nullified by 12 things, or the more accurate translation would be 12 things nullify the wudu. Why? Because 12 is the fa'il. And just to highlight, from an Arabic perspective, why is إثنى عشر the fa'il? Because إثنى is in حالة الرفع, and وعلامة رفعه الفتحة الظاهرة لأنه مثنى. خير. وما خرج من السبيلين إلا ريح القبل في الأصح. Okay, so this is a bit of the extra detail. Here they are telling us ما خرج من السبيلين, as I've highlighted, whatever comes out of both. And now, once again, last week we've highlighted the word orifice. So an orifice being an exit point of the body, the two orifices. إلا ريح القبل, except the gas that escapes from the frontal private part in the most correct instances. Whenever, and this is uniform across fiqh, inshallah, whenever you have a sentence or a phrase ends off like this, fil asahi or in the sahih, then this automatically is an indication to a difference of opinion, right? So the meaning of fil asahi, in the most correct, let us just understand it logically, and then it's a principle we will understand forever, inshallah. The word asah means most correct, right? So here, the compelling arguments to the opposite, in my opinion, this is the most correct, right? So just to take note of that. So this would refer to gas, escaping through the front and through the frontal orifice, as opposed to the rear orifice, which is على المعتاد, which is the usual escaping of gas. And very interesting in the discussion of fil asahi, why to go down that, inshallah. If you see here in the hashia, because we had in essence the second time we are going, so let us read the hashia. وفي رواية عن محمد رحمه الله أنه لا ينقض. And this is the difference, that according to Imam Muhammad, the wudu will not break. سائلة اعلم أن السبيلين. Okay, it's going to go into a different discussion there, so let's not take it there. But awkward the discussion. ونجازة السائلة من غيرهما كدم وقيح. And the escape or the exit of any flowing najaza min ghayrihima, from any point of the body or any orifice of the body other than the frontal and the rear private parts, right? So that means blood. So when this blood comes out, what?
Sorry, we didn't miss that. وَيَنْ قَدَ وَلَدْ مِنْ غَيْرِهِ.
in number 2. وينقضه ولادة من غير رؤية دم. جزاك الله خير. وينقضه ولادة من غير رؤية دم. Even so, a wudu is broken when there is wilada min ghayri ru'yati damin. Min ghayri ru'yati damin would refer to something escaping. No, this is not totally them. This would be the wilada. In fact, wiladatun min ghayri ru'yati damin, in fact, in the asahh riwayah, would refer to a birth that is without any blood. And the reason for this being that, again, from understanding the usul, the wudu does not break per se because of sleeping. Wudu does not break because of urinating. Wudu breaks because of anything exiting the two private parts. So that is the usul. Now, the question comes about is that what if there is a miraculous nature of a birth, when there is a birth without any blood, because there is no the human baby that comes out. Very quick question: the human baby, what is the hukam of it? Anybody? The hukam of human flesh.
Is it pure?
It's tahir. Human flesh is pure, right? So it's pure. It's tahir, right? And the reason why is because it is human flesh is tahir and halal, and becomes haram the minute it dies. Then it becomes maita, right? That is why. So that is why Okay, right. So anyway, all right. So that is it. However, وَيَنْقُضُهُ وِلَادَةٌ مِنْ غَيْرِ رُؤْيَةِ دَمٍ can also refer to a passing of any a passing of something without any without any sign of blood. So sometimes I don't know if, anything, but for male and woman, I think so. You get a kidney stone. Now, and kidney stone, what is it? Does the discharge of a kidney stone and I don't know if it's possible for a kidney stone to be discharged without any urine, but if a kidney stone is discharged, by the sabilain, by the orifice, does this break wudu? This would break the wudu. Khair? ونجازة okay, so ونجازة سائلة من غيرهما كدم وقيح, and a flowing liquid. What's another word? Okay, so flowing najaza, any flowing najaza min ghayrihima, from any other orifice of the body, mouth, nose, ears, even eyes. When a person bleeds from their kadamin, that's where blood is going to come from. Waqayhin, and pus. Waqayin, and vomit. Waqayu ta'amin, and vomiting food particularly. Aw ma'un, or so ta'amun aw ma'un aw alaqun aw marra, as we know in Turkey, this is all going to be ma'tuf on one another, and it's going to be, all of that is going to be the mudaf ilay of qay. Wa qay'u ta'amin aw ma'in aw alaqin aw marratin. Now, it is the vomiting of food or water or blood clots, as we mentioned last week. Or marratin, phlegm, bile. It's at the bottom of marra, it says safara. Now, safara actually, is not the color asfar. Safra is referring to the four. I forgot what they call them. Four humors of the body. So you get balgham, you get this one here that is safra. So balgham, safra, and they are names in Arabic. So that is the name at the bottom. The four humors of the body. إذا ملأ الفم. Now this is what a shart. A person's vomit does not break the wudu if it does not fill a mouth. وهو ما لا ينطبق عليه الفم. And that is what they are simply saying, that what is the meaning of a mouthful? A meaning of a mouthful means that what is the meaning of a mouthful? A mouthful means that your mouth can no longer contain it. إلا بتكلف على الأصح, except through extreme difficulty. So yes, you can, I mean, like, it is that amount of vomit which you can hold in your mouth, but if you do that, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. ويجمع متفرق القيء إذا اتحد سببه. Does anyone want to try this translation here? You can either say ويجمع or ويجمع. G, anybody?
Looking at the
Without
Hashia there.
looking to the English. G, anybody? Anybody can try it.
Collection,
Start it.
collecting.
So okay, collecting
Different.
is collecting. We are on the right, but we just need to rephrase it, maybe not the collecting. ويجمع متفر ويجمع G. Because correcting is the correct meaning. Well, what would an alternative be? Because that is the correct collecting. يجمع or يجمع, the collection of the accumulation. MashaAllah, barakallahu fikum. Because we are using what's it, فعل مجهول. جزاكم الله خير. So that is the perfect translation. That's why جزاكم الله خير for doing. So ويجمع متفرق القيء إذا اتحد سببه, the accumulation of متفرق القيء. Anybody? Okay, definitely it is correct, but it's not linguistically sound. So how would we translate? Like we said, the accumulation is a very beautiful translation. متفرق القيء will be, so متفرق القيء, we can vomit, or the various episodes of vomit. G, the various vomit. إذا اتحد سببه,
various episodes.
When it is caused by
episodes, mashallah, the various episodes, if it was caused by a similar reason. Barakallahu fikum khair. So this is the one reason that wasn't mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, in Fiqh al-Muyassar. So when it comes to vomiting, number one is it has to be mil'ul fam. Mil'ul fam doesn't mean that it's like half. No, it has to be that you tried to you tried to what you say. You tried to keep it in your mouth, but you just couldn't. So that is mil'ul fam. It can mean anything that comes from the stomach, anything at all. It can be clear, meaning whatever color it is. So it can either be a humor, it can either be food, it can be water, etc. The condition has to be mouthful, and we spoke about that. However, when it comes to, let's say a person is feeling nauseous due to, for example, food poisoning, like there's one, you can trace the reason to one cause, and every time there's a little bit, every time you spew, I think so, maybe it would be the correct one, to spew a little bit, you would then need to, you don't have to gather it, but you can use your, you can use your discernment, and you can say, okay, you know what, I've been spitting out now all the time, and it's equivalent to about one mouthful, and that will then also give you the similar حكم. ودم غلب على البزاق. ودم غلب على البزاق. And blood that overpowers sputum. Once again, this is going to be ma'tuf on ويجمع, right? So it is going to be ويجمع متفرق القيء إذا اتحد سببه ودم غلب على البزاق. And just as the various vomits or bouts of vomit will be considered and it will be taken into consideration whether it takes one mouthful or not. If a person has blood in his spit, you need to take into consideration: is the spit more than the blood? Is the white more than the red, or is the blood more than the spit? أو ساواه, or it is equivalent. I think so. That is the exact same عبارة that we found in Fiqh al-Muyassar. ونوم لم تتمكن فيه المقعدة الأرض. Okay, and that type of a sleep in which a person's posterior was not was not was not grounded to the floor. And a sleeping person raising his posterior before completely waking up. Before completely waking up. Now, I'm not going to go through the details again because we've been quite, what do you say, in detail in the recordings. But please ask me if we do again. Like we're getting to the qahqah question. وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ فِي الظَّاهِرِ. Even though, وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ فِي الظَّاهِرِ. Even though, can you see there? Wasliya is at the bottom of in. Where's my thingy? This wa, and then you have in. They are telling you this is in wasliya. This is not in shartiya. So you won't say if, you will say even though. وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ فِي الظَّاهِرِ. Even though the person doesn't fall, and they are telling you fall. What do you mean doesn't fall? وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ فِي الظَّاهِرِ الْمَذْهَبِ. Even though a person who's fell asleep sitting. So what they are saying is that if a person fell asleep sitting, right? And when he wakes up, so it happened to all of us, inshallah. When you're snoozing while you're sitting, so what happens? You fall, isn't it? You fall over, like you catch yourself as you're falling. That's snooze, right? So as you're catching yourself as you're falling, what they are saying is that if you're
Malana, you muted.
Malana, we can't hear you.
Is Molana gone?
No, it's gone. No, Farida's gone.
Oh, okay. What's going on? Oh. Oh, Molana is back.
Mm-hmm.
Farida is back.
Still no sound. Okay.
I was just turning to the Farida. All right. So we were speaking. So now think about this, right? You're sitting. Let's say this happens a lot of times when you're in Makkah and Medina. Because when you have to go for Jummah, you have to go early. It's hot. You're sitting there and then you're dozing. So let's say, for example, you're sitting cross-legged, right? You're dozing off, you're leaning forward. Now, as you're tilting forward, this doesn't break your wudu as long as your backside is firm on the ground. But what happens? You doze off, right? So you're tilting. Then you scratch, you shock yourself awake. Now, at that moment of shocking yourself awake, right? At that moment of shocking yourself awake, if you've tilted so far forward that your backside is off the meaning you have to actually put your hand in front, which sometimes happens, that means your wudu is broken. that means your wudu is broken, right? Because that means that you are still sleeping when your when your backside raised. However, if you're falling, if you like, if you're tilting over and you're falling now because you're sleeping, and you catch yourself, but you when you wake up, your backside, like you're falling, but your backside is still firm, then your wudu is going to break. Your wudu is going to break. وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ عَلَى الظَّاهِرِ. Even if a person doesn't fall down. So a person says, but look, my backside did raise, but I didn't fall on the floor. So how come my wudu is broken? Because your backside, remember the entire discussion is خُرُوجُ شَيْءٍ مِّنَ السَّبِيلَيْن. Sleep doesn't break your wudu. It is when you are sleeping and your orifice is relaxed and something can escape from there, that is what breaks wudu. All right. وإغماء and unconsciousness,
Okay,
وجنون and
sorry, can I please ask a question there?
Yeah.
So one question is, so it doesn't matter if you're leaning on anything as long as your
As long
bottom.
as your backside is on the ground. Now this is a problematic thing, because they don't tell us anything about leaning here. Here they don't tell us anything about leaning. But as you're going to go in the detail, and we're going in the Hawashi, they tell you about leaning. Now, and the explanation of why leaning is considered to be a factor against this. Now, leaning is considered a factor in many madhahib, but in many madhahib also, in one or two in most of the madhahib, leaning is going to break your wudu, but in some of the madhahib not. But why is it considered to be break your wudu? It's because leaning is considered to be the same like lying down. And when a person leans, there is the fear that even though your backside was firmly on the ground, by leaning, you have taken the pressure of the muscles of your sphincter, which would have which should have given you the confidence that nothing came out. And that is the whole masala that goes about there.
Okay, and one more question. Sitting on a chair.
Sure.
If you fall asleep while sitting on a chair, does that break your wudu?
Sitting on the chair, that would, if it has a backrest and you find yourself leaning, if you find yourself leaning,
like a stool with no backrest.
No, then the stool of no backrest is going to be falling in this exact hukam, because remember, the stool with no backrest is exactly as if you're sitting on the floor.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Oh yeah. I'm just thinking if there are any other variations to this. No, in fact, in the Shafi'i madhab, in the Hanafi madhab as well, all of these, most of the asahhu riwayah is that it shouldn't be when you are leaning. So whether the leaning is taking support from an object like a wall or lying flat down on the floor, that is the reason why they say وَإِن لَمْ يَسْقُطْ. The reason why he brings that, even though he doesn't fall, because people make the argument, but I wasn't leaning, I didn't lay down on the floor, right? But they say your backside lifted up. All right, so yeah, okay, we're igma'un and falling unconscious, we're jununun wa sukkar and being mad and intoxicated. Here we have waqahqahatun, and I said what it is? Coughing. Now, qahqahatun balighu yaqadhan fi salatin dhati ruku'in wa sujudin. Balighun yaqadhan. What's the meaning of balighu yaqadhan? Meaning to that a person will be able to hear. Why did I say coughing? Qahqaha actually refers to laughing audibly. So it is the words I found, it was sniggering, and in coughing is amongst it. Now the reason I said coughing is because this is something that I experience almost every single day, because we in school and we have the school children reading salah. So when they laugh, they don't laugh. They laugh like a person. It sounds like a person who's coughing. And I found coughing in the actual meaning, so that is why I translated it. So it sounds like, but I think so we can also use the word sniggering. So it sounds like that. So that is the qahqaha. Therefore, if you go to the Hashia, it says al-qahqahatu ma yakunu masmu'an lahu. Qahqaha is that which can be heard وَلِجِيرَانِهِ, which a person and his neighbor can hear. Meaning, you and your neighbor can hear the sound, the he. بدون ولجيرانه بدون أسنانه أو لا بدت أسنانه أو لا, meaning irrespective of whether you can actually see the person laughing or not, whether you can see his teeth or not, right? So this is what happens. So let's say like the kids, they play in salah, they laugh amongst other, so they it sounds like they cough, they make like that, and then they are laughing. So you can say laughing, sniggering, I think so would be maybe a good, right? And then they explain, where is it, Hashia? والضحك ما يكون مسموعا له دون جيرانه, and الضحك would be with him laughing without his neighbors laughing. وهو مبطل للصلاة دون الوضوء, and it breaks the salah without the wudu. والتبسم ما لا صوت فيه, and تبسم, smiling, is which there is no sound. ولا تأثير له في واحد منهما. خير. So that is the thing of قهقه, but we can carry on with the حاشية. It's a very interesting حاشية. فأطلق القهقهة فشملت ما إذا كان عمدا أو سهوا. Now the reason they say that the reason why the fuqaha have used the word قهقه instead of the word ضحك is because they want to include every iteration of this type of sniggering, laughing, guffawing, whether it's intentional or unintentional. But the وقيدها البالغ, the condition is that it has to come from a baligh. فاحترز بها عن الصبي. That is why, in school, when the kids, they do it every single day, the smaller grades. We don't chase them. We don't tell them the salah is broken. We just shout them, because it doesn't affect their salah. However, if a baligh person has to snigger, laugh, guffaw, he, then that would break his salah. Khair, inshallah. وقهقهة بالغ يقضان في صلاة ذات ركوع وسجود. So okay, so let's change. We can say the sniggering or the laughing, if you want to be more comfortable, that reaches an awake person. So baligh yaqdan, which a person who is awake can hear in a salah that is of ruku' and sujood. ولو تعمد الخروج بها من الصلاة, even though a person intended to خروج منها من الصلاة, to leave his salah through it. Now, what are they speaking about here? This is a very interesting thing. The salam, in essence, when you we're going to do that inshallah when we come along to it. The salam is not part of the arkan of salah, right? Meaning you don't have to do salam to exit. You don't have to do both salam. In fact, one salam is sufficient, right? Now, the reason why is because salam is one of the actions that takes a person out of salah. For example, a person, by standing up immediately, if a person doesn't make salam and you stand up immediately, that is also considered as being out of the salah. Or a person does or a person starts eating, right? It will be against the sunnah, but it will also be considered out of salah. So let us consider an argument. A person says, so a person is reading his namaz, and then he comes right in the ending, he suddenly starts laughing, blurts out laughing. Now we told him, "Bhai, your wudu is broken, your salah is broken, go make wudu, you have to repeat your salah." He says, "But no, I don't have to repeat my salah because I don't have to repeat my wudu also because I intended to exit my salah through this action." Meaning, I knew all along that by laughing, my wudu is going to break. By default, my salah is going to break. So I didn't laugh unintentionally. I laughed as an intentional act to indicate my exiting from salah. And so this is what they are answering, and they say no. Even though that is a compelling argument, we are not going to entertain it. Unfortunately, your wudu is still broken, right? ومس فرج بذكر منتصب بلا حائل. The touching of the private part, وهذه مباشرة فاحشة. This is the touching of the outer skin, ومس فرج بذكر منتصب بلا حائل. In a direct way, so the touching of the male and female private parts without any barrier. Now at the bottom they say وَهَذِهِ مُبَاشِرَةٌ فَاحِشَةٌ. This refers to skin contact. All right. وَهَذِهِ مُبَاشِرَةٌ فَاحِشَةٌ. This refers to skin contact. All right. Okay, inshallah. That brings us to the end of that. Is there any questions that we need to discuss that?
Gee, a quick question. So it's basically when you're reading Salah and you like laugh out loud, that's when your wudu breaks. But if you just give like a small little laugh, then
No, yeah, it's nothing to do with that. And you know, can I share with you guys a very important question, a very important incident? So the incident is this year. The incident is that somebody came to Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and they told Imam Abu Hanifa that why, according to Imam Abu Hanifa, as you say here, the salah doesn't, the wudu breaks, isn't it? The wudu breaks by laughing, but the salah doesn't break. So somebody came to Imam Abu Hanifa and they asked him, why do you do that? I mean, what's your proof for doing that? So he said, and remember, one of the accusation, what do we say? Not, I don't say accusation. Accusation might be truth. One of the, what do we say? One of the accusations, the false accusations against the Hanafi madhab is that they make too much qiyas. So one person went to Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and told him, why do you do that? I mean, like, why do you say that the salah is broken by the wudu? The salah is broken by laughing, right? Why do you say that salah is broken by laughing in this particular mas'ala? And Imam Abu Hanifa replied, it's not because of the logic of it, it's because of the amr of it. Because logically, under the discussion which we are doing, laughing in salah does nothing to impact your wudu. It does nothing to impact your wudu. But the reason for laughing in salah breaking your wudu is because of nas. Because in the hadith, a person was laughing in salah, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told him to go make wudu and repeat his salah. So that is the reason why. So this is it's just a story about this, wherein somebody accused Nabi Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah of applying too much to logic, wherein in a mas'ala that was that was in fact the opposite, wherein Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah instituted the entire mas'ala because of it being the sunnah of, or rather the command of Nabi, so the hadith of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So that is the thing, yes. So laughing in salah, why? Because of the hadith. Laughing in itself is nothing wrong.
And then last week you said kahka is a coughing fit, so that football is the same thing.
And again, the coughing fit is uncontrollable. When it is uncontrollable. Okay. And once again, why the coughing fit? Because of, did we explain last week? Because of when a person, there is a fear, a person could lose control of his. In fact, in the Shafi'i madhab, there's a very interesting discussion that in the Shafi'i madhab, even in the Hanafi madhab, when a person is in a coughing fit, there is, a coughing fit could break his wudu for a separate reason, and that could be amal kathir, because uncontrollable coughing. Inshallah. Khair. Someone was asking a question? Inshallah. Okay. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hopefully, the process will continue smoother from here, inshallah. So just to confirm, this is the nuskha and everything. With regards to last week's lesson, as we've gone through now, there shouldn't have been too much difference. But alhamdulillah, we've gone through it in detail, and we'll move on forward from this particular lesson, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.